on the hunt. Gets a few shots out there. He's going to find.
Oh wait, I can over here.
Well. This is looking.
Am I live? I'm live. Am I live? I'm live. Hello. So I am going to make a few more maps today. And look, things are improving, right? Audio, maybe slightly better, probably not. But more importantly, there is now a chat window. That's pretty poggers, right? Huh? I can actually read what people are saying instead of tabbing between two tabs. Anyway, so what we're gonna do today, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Go check out this person's channel. I'm gonna get demonetized to hell and probably banned. Oh well. So what we're gonna do today is we are going to make a map for the map of the month, right? Because I forget what the theme is, but you know, probably should know what that means. Probably should know what the theme is because I chose it. What is the theme? Agony, right? So I'm gonna make a very painful to play map, and I don't expect anyone to actually enjoy it or beat it, but it's gonna be painful to play, and that's what matters, right? So to do this, right? To do this, we're gonna start with a toll map, I think, and I have a game plan. I might need to edit this window a bit. It's a bit disruptive. Oh well. So what we're gonna do, if we're trying to maximize the number of casualties, which to me is what Agony means, right? You gotta maximize casualties. Well, the tall map is for a very specific reason you're about to find out. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna start the player in one corner, right? So to maximize the number of casualties, you need to maximize the distance the player has to travel to get around the map. That's the easiest way to go about it, because the more travel time there is, the more stuff you can pack in here to kill them, right? And so what we're gonna do, first I'm gonna save this as Agony. What a file name. And I'm gonna go ahead, I've forgotten how many tiles one of my favorite assets in the game is. Oh, it's not on here. I think it's under this one, right? On Honeybun? How many tiles is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's what I thought. So these are going to be very important. These are probably, a well-placed laser generator is probably the most overpowered thing in the game as far as defenses go. The issue is that they only face downwards because of limits on the Buggos artistic dev team. So what we're gonna do is really capitalize on just how potent they are, which is why we have a tall map. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna spawn the player. We're gonna be kind of nice. We'll spawn the player. So I want to break this. We want to think about how we want to break the map up first, right? So I don't want it to be too narrow of a tube because then it just gets repetitive and that's kind of boring. You know, I want this map to be sucky to play, but at least playable, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna send the player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're gonna send the player. I want it to be a kind of wide tube. Maybe that's too wide actually. We'll go 7. That feels like a better number to me. And so we're gonna start with 7. Oh, there's the bug. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're gonna make the player slowly work their way up and around and through and up and around again until they get all the way down to this bottom corner. Because we need to maximize how many casualties they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna make a narrow tube here, right? So they're gonna go up and around. They're gonna go through this narrow tube. This might fuck the so the Buggo, I have a tendency to break the AI in this game, and this might break the AI with how I want this map to flow, so apologies in advance, Mr. Groundhog. So, I can never remember what mammal it is. So they're gonna go up through here, they're gonna go around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you might be thinking, man, these 7 wide tunnels are gonna be really boring. And you're right. But also, I can do a little bit of things to give them some variance after. Right now I'm just loosely mapping out how I want it to be. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because we can always go through and edit things later, right? Nothing on this is permanent. Whenever I first got into making a lot of maps and stuff, I had a tendency to not delete things after I placed them. And I think some of my earlier maps show that really well. So probably need to go back and edit those, but man, I can't be bothered at the moment. So they're gonna go up, they're gonna go around, down, through here, like this. They're gonna go maybe down here, this might be interesting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're gonna go down here somewhere. And you know what? I'm gonna do this just to highlight where all the corners and stuff are. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that all the way through. Because that'll be useful for making curvatures later, right? So whenever you're trying to make a really good curvature, you want to know exactly where the corners and stuff are. We're going to carry them all the way down here. And this is a short tunnel, so we're going to make this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Something like this, right? And this space has not been capitalized on yet. So we can drag them all the way around. This is where they're going to start. This is where they are like halfway through the level. And then they're going to go up and make their way through again. And then there's just going to be a big pocket down here in this bottom corner. And this is going to be basically hell on earth to get through. It's going to be great. Interestingly, hold on. No, we're fine. I was worried I didn't get enough space for lasers, but we're fine. So what we're going to do, we're going to map up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to make this tunnel a bit bigger. I think it's about 7. I might have miscounted. Doesn't really matter. So what we're going to do, they're going up here. We're going to make them switch around to the side again, and then they're going to enter this big space at the bottom. So we're going to go like 5-ish, like that. Oh, that needs to be like this. Man, maybe this was a bad idea how I'm going about this. It's really confusing to look at now. Oh well. So they're going to go down like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this will be the big opening, right? So we think about it as a how the player's going to flow through it. This is where they're going to start. And now we can think about putting some command centers. So whenever you're placing these command centers and stuff, right? I said it in the last video, but you know, I don't feel like anyone wants to watch that because I wouldn't. And so what you want to do is you got to think about your command center spacing as like ratios, right? So if I put a whole bunch of command centers here, the command centers up here, for example, if I only put 1 here and 5 down here, it's not like they spawn until they have a cap. They'll just keep going in rounds, right? So you need to think about this as a ratio of like, how many are they going to spawn until they reach their global cap. I think it looks like there's a global cap for these units. I imagine there is. So I'm going to only put like, I found that like 3 or so of these is pretty effective. So I'm only going to put 3. And these might move around a little bit, but it'll be fine. And so now we can start working on how the player's actually going to flow through the map. So we're going to come up here. I think this is going to be a very round open corner because they're going to want to make this turn. They're going to want to feel like they have momentum, and then they're going to realize, man, this really does suck, which is exactly what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something like this, right? We want them to flow around and into here. And I don't want to do this entire line to be little openings because then this end cap may as well not exist. We want them to go all the way down and then around. We're trying to maximize travel distance. And then from here, what we can do is they're going to loop around like this. So we can lean into the idea that this is going to be one big curve. And what we can do is we can make the bottom and the top respectively a bit more open than we might otherwise do. And that'll let them round corners a little bit easier and keep a little bit of flow to the map design. So now they're going to go around like this. So same idea, right? We want this corner, we want the more openings right here than we do towards the top. And we want more openings on the left-hand side than the right-hand side. Though this is so short it doesn't really matter. Honestly, I might do it like this. So then they're going to come around this side, and they're going to... How do I want to do this? I like this, actually. They're going to go in like this. And same idea, we're just going to keep repeating that same general concept of map flow. And we're just going to keep going along the map like this. It doesn't really matter what it looks like right now, because we're going to have to chop and change a lot of things going forward. So here is that. I try not to make them look exactly the same throughout, because I feel like it looks too copy-pasted, but it's really hard to be super original with some of these. Right? And then this is where they're going to open up. They're going to open up down here at the bottom. I don't want an opening anywhere near this, because then the player can just run up and delete this immediately, right? We want them to come up and up to it. So we're going to do something like this. And that'll give the player enough throughput where they can probably advance into here, but it limits the, it still has a little bit of a bottleneck. It'll be a tough fight. So now what we can do, we can start thinking about making the map very difficult to beat, is a nice way of putting it. So, right, how high up do we have, right? So if I do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10. So I'm gonna put a little bit of a gap between the laser turrets just to make it look kind of realistic. But again, I don't really care. This is all about maximizing casualties. And I've got a plan for this. I've thought about this a little bit. I do a little bit of planning, not much though. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10. We're gonna leave like a 2-tile gap. And then something like this, right? And that should... The player still has plenty of space down here at the bottom to get ready for the oncoming bitch slap of a map this is. But not much, right? And so next what we want to do... I've been doing some thinking, right? And I try to make my maps in a way that they look like they make sense, right? So I don't want lasers going through walls. Like, I don't even know if they can go through these cliff sides, but I don't want them to. So I try to space them in a way where the graphic isn't going to overlay. Because to me that looks unrealistic and stupid. But these, right? In my mind, in my little Buggos roleplay mind, these walls, right? They're like maybe 6 feet tall, but these lasers might be like 8 feet tall and shooting down at an angle. So might work to put some walls in front of this. I know the game itself will allow this, but I try to have some sense of reasoning to this. Because, man, weird map designs, or weird usage of map assets drives me nuts. And so what we're going to do now, that's right, it's my favorite time of day. A special little time where I place like 15 landmines everywhere. We'll landmine it afterwards, actually. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus down here, actually. We're gonna focus on the defense. So we got a few focal points, right, on this map. We have this wall of laser turrets. Then they're coming around here, right? There's gonna be some amount of fighting, so I know I want probably like a command center here. And another command center probably here somewhere, right? And so, but these aren't going to be focal points, right? These are just areas the player's going to travel through to get here. I'll worry about how to deal with this space on the top later. I don't really have a plan for this. But what we do have a plan for is this, right? So this is going to be nothing but landmines all the way down this corridor. And the idea is, so the player's gonna go around here, right? They're gonna beat everything up very slowly. It's gonna be a very painful situation, but they're gonna make all their way around here. They're gonna kill these 2 things, and then, right? That's a lot of the humans destroyed on the map, and the humans only respawn so fast, and we've only got 3. 3's a decent amount of spawners, but we've only got 3 of them. So we need to give the humans a bit of time to recuperate their forces. So after the player goes through here, I'm gonna put an absolute assload of landmines, and that'll stall the player out while the humans rebuild their forces. And I think that'll give us a nice effect. So next what we want to do is we want to think about, if I'm defending this location, where would I put laser turrets? And the answer is everywhere. So let's see. This looks like it's at least 20 tiles, so I can be a bit more loosey-goosey with where I place these, right? So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I almost want to place a second one here, but I'm not going to be that mean. Also, it would look stupid. So we've got 2 more laser turrets here. I'm going to flip-flop on this wall in front of the laser turret things all the time. Like some of my maps, I refuse to do it. Other maps, like this, I'm doing it right now. It's one of those things. So what we're going to do now. We need a way to fill this, right? We need some filler. And what I could do, what I'm thinking about actually, I'm going to go ahead and finish the way the rocks and stuff look. Because once I start placing all these landmines, I want the landmines to be kind of like the final step. Because the landmines are just going to get shoved into whatever nook and cranny I feel like. And if I'm going to have that approach, I need to have everything else worried about beforehand. Let's see. So, so we for sure cannot press up against here, right? That's not going to be allowed. Or what we could do. Oh boy, howdy. Grab onto your butts, because, oh, this is spicy. Could do something like this, right? Actually, I'm going to do this. That's going to bother me a little bit. So this looks fine. And we're going to take here. The reason oh, I forgot to mention. So the reason I'm okay with putting the walls, and making up like a whole reason to put the walls for the laser turrets here. Whenever the player is trying to beat down these laser turrets, right? They'll have to kill the... So, because I'm utilizing the whole 10 tiles of space a laser turret does, sorry about that, it's basically impossible for anything other than a warrior to get up to this front line and actually attack anything. Nothing else has the raw stats needed to get up here, right? Defenders can get almost to the front, but then it takes them so long to fire and get within range that they just barely can't do it. I think, in my instinct. So then what we have is a situation where the warriors have to beat down this wall before they can actually attack the laser generators, which will immensely maximize the casualty rate. Or it should, at least. So we're gonna go along here. Do I have any? No, it's just this one tile. I might have screwed myself on the tiles. We'll see. I might be able to do something like this, right? That looks okay. And then... Oh boy, howdy. What do we want to do here? Something like this, probably, right? And that looks a little bit too placed. And then this is going to curve inwards. Yeah. Because I can bullish this out a bit too. And I'll go through, I need to carve the edges a little bit. So I'll go around the corners of the map afterwards. And finalize those. Right now it's just kind of like, put in something to put there, you know? Go and get this out of the way. So, next what we want to do. Oh, we need to finish this corridor first. I'm moving too fast. Sorry guys, there's a lot of maps to make today. I don't know if you're seeing my tabs here, right? We got to make a map themed after this. We've got to make a map themed after these things. Another one about cannolis, and another one about gelatin. I might not get to all of these today, but we're gonna try. And so this might be a very long video. Sorry for any VOD watchers that actually watch this shit. See, so like, there's some hidden stuff there that we're not gonna worry about. I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh well. And so no one screen capped that frame. And so yeah, I plan all my maps and stuff a little bit in advance because I just have no life, I guess. And so I maybe enjoy making maps in this game a little bit too much. Oh well. So there's that. And what are we doing? We're doing something like this, right? So what I'm trying to focus on right now. I hate grid, like these. I made a map called Archimedes, right? And it features a lot of these grids, and I hate it to death. But you know, what can you do? It's supposed to be like a classic American pie, and I can only do so much for the lines, because lines are a defining feature of that pie. Just wanted to throw that out there. Anyway, so we've got this, and this is starting to look kind of natural. This very clearly is not, though. I can't do anything about that though, because that'll get in front of the turret or the laser. I don't want to do that. So there's not much I can do here. That's unfortunate, but we'll have to live with it. I can maybe do this, right? That looks even worse, so we're not going to. And so the player is going to fight their way through here. We can go ahead and start working on this top area, right? I think the geography in the top area is probably finished, as far as I'm concerned, at least. So we look for these big bulges. We're gonna look for some big bulges, guys. And let me tell you, I know how to handle some big bulges in my time. And what we're gonna do with these big bulges is we're gonna put some little towers in them. So that's here, Mom. And actually, we're gonna delete this one. I'm trying to figure out how I want the spacing on these turrets to be. So I for sure want one here, right? This is a pretty big bulge, and I want to make sure this big bulge gets handled accordingly. So here we go. Keep in mind, I want this to look kind of nice, but also we're maximizing the casualties here. So if I want to place a few too many turrets for the month of the theme of the month, it kind of makes sense. So we'll roll with it. I don't want to. I hate putting landmines next to each other though. To me, landmines are something that should be spaced out, because if you think about landmines, right? I think about them as having, or I think they actually do have this, right? They kill a tile that they're on, and then the tiles around them. And if you think about this, right? The landmine should then chain detonate if that's how they're reacting. I get why they don't. It's probably like a performance thing, but to me, it's really stupid to have landmines next to each other, because they'll just detonate each other. You don't want that. That's dumb. Don't do that. So here, I could keep going to Teslas, but I think I have enough right there. And instead, we're going to pivot to turrets. And oh man, this is gonna be something. The reason I'm okay with putting landmines in front of the walls is because I feel like the walls are probably braced for this. They're probably ready for it. So I don't really care as much there. And importantly, we're going to need to make sure that maybe, oh boy. What do I want to do? I'll figure out that later. So we're gonna go ahead and finish placing some landmines here. There's hotkeys for these, I swear. Or maybe there's not. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I feel like L is landmine. We can test this. L is not landmine, it's launcher. That makes sense. Alright, so I don't want hotkeys for the tiles in the map editor right away. That's not a feature request. Hold on. I can actually drink a beverage without shitty lipstick getting in my mouth. It's amazing. Also, huh? Yeah? I got some Minecraft swag. I'm a real gamer like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and continue this along. I might carve into this a little bit, but I don't think the nooks and crannies are actually gonna affect anything as far as the player is concerned. That might be a little... So there, I was thinking about going down this way, but either way it's a little bit too... not enough space, right? Maybe something like that. I kind of hate that even more. Jeez. Okay. So there's that. And then we want to continue along here. Something I like to do sometimes is whenever I'm making these maps, I like to tease the player's imagination and be like, oh, but what if there's a little gap right here? Man, that would be so convenient. Nope. You'll have to just cope, buddy. I don't know if anyone actually feels like that whenever they play these maps, but when I play them, that's how I feel. And you know what? That's all that matters. So, you know, let's see. We're gonna... Do I want anything up here? So, what I might do for this corner is something like this, right? And the reason I'm doing this is I can put a little bit of a cavern here. Not really a cavern, but just like... I feel like not enough map makers play with negative space enough. You can do a lot with negative space, and no one uses it. So get on that, guys. Right, so something like this. And it looks a lot more interesting because of the negative space. Alright, and so, the way you can think about that is it's just like, you can't see, it's like the Fog of War, but even more Fog of War. You'll never, it's like that one part of the fucking Civilization 6 game where there's a mountain and you're trying to explore the whole goddamn planet and you can't do that because your fucking scout can't get into the mountain because it's like it's a 9-tile mountain and you can't see the middle. Thanks, Sid. That pisses me off so much every time I play. Sorry, I just had to get that out there. Man, let's see. So we're gonna go ahead and do something like this, right? And I'm not gonna worry about the edges too much. I need to go back over the edges anyway, so I'm not gonna concern myself too much with it. Here, we're gonna cut in. Keep in mind, we don't need to have a square-looking map, right? There's nothing in the map's theme that dictates having a square map. So these corners are superficial. I can edit them to be as round or as rigid as I want. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I think whenever, especially when I first started making maps, I had a real habit of I would define spaces, and you could very clearly see where the spaces are. I'm doing it right now. Where I just didn't know what to do with the space, so I left it as like a hard corner, and I think they look a lot worse because of that. We're gonna do something like this, and I might put more negative space in here just to do it. I'll consider it, right? Put a little bottleneck here. Maybe I'm getting too negative space crazy. I do this sometimes. It'll be okay. Oh, it looks like ass. Looks like absolute dog shit. Look at this map. What a piece of garbage. This way no one plays my maps, guys. Play my goddamn map. Play the maps. Play it. I put effort into these. Play these maps. Do it. I need some sort of give me your validation, damn it. Anyway. Man, this is why I shouldn't be streaming so late in the night. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go along here. And I'm gonna put a little thing in there just to do it. So now we've got, if we're thinking about the way the player's looking for this, right? We've got most of the map done now. So they're coming up through here. They're going along, they're going through, they're going through, they're going down, they're going around. This area is still really rough though, so we need to work on this, right? The actual where the player is starting and the area adjacent to it. And something I noticed with the default maps, right? The vanilla maps or whatever, the campaign, is they Mr. Will Mammal is very deliberate with making little cubbies for the player to be inside. I didn't really do it here, but it's worth considering if you want to emulate that. I think he mentioned it at some point. It's a very deliberate thing. I'm on to you. And what we can do from here. Go ahead and do something like that. I don't know what I'm going to do for this though. What I might do actually, hold on. I've just answered my own problem. Don't even worry about it, guys. I'm so smart. Someone get me a medal. We're gonna do something like this. I'm not gonna let these, see, this is why I don't place landmines yet. They almost started dictating how I'm gonna generate the map. And I don't want that. Right? They come in after the map's made. And so... That looks okay. It still looks really superficial to me though. I can't... Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. I should feel bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we go. I almost made a huge mistake. I could have died there. People could have died. Not just the humans, just in general. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 10. So I can play with this a bit more to get that contrast back. I don't know if I like having a really tight bottleneck like that, but it could be interesting. I'll leave it for now. And we'll go ahead, we'll solidify that actually. I'll make it look like the earth kind of comes in and does a little sneaky thing. So that looks pretty okay to me. Actually, no, it doesn't. I said that and then I was lying. I'm a dirty liar. Someone needs to call my mom and the police. So, damn it, where rock tile, please work with me. I've forgotten what I was doing. That looks like butt. That looks like butt still. Here we go. Okay, so the earth kind of comes up a little bit and does a sneaky thing. And I think, I don't know how I want to work with this. It is a conundrum. I might just leave it at something like this, right? No, that was a mistake. That was one too many tiles gone, and I am ashamed. We're going to do... Aw, man. Okay. We're doing something like this. Oh. Just to give this some sort of visual interest. And now, what I can do to alleviate this choke point here, right, is, again, nothing says this needs to be square. So I can go through and I can just make a little snaky snake. And what am I doing with life? Right, so I'm gonna place another laser turret because we need to make sure we maximize those. And it looks like, where are we missing? We need to fix this a little bit, and then we're done with the terrain for the most part for now. Sorry about that, jeez. I ate some very abnormal things, so I'm a little bit burpy. By abnormal, I mean it wasn't eggs and rice, which is seemingly all I eat. You know, if anyone wants to give me some pro tips for broke ass college students as far as food goes, feel free to DM me. I am open to possibilities. Right? This might be a little bit too short. I don't like that distance. I might actually go as far as to move the command center one tile over. Oh no. Oh, I didn't mean to do this. That was a mistake. Please. No. Stop. Well, you know what? It'll be fine. I think it'll be white whenever I reload the map. So, you know, we're just gonna put that down there and forget about it. So the terrain is for the most part done. We need to go back and fix these outer areas, right? And we're not gonna get super crazy with it, but I do want to make it look less manicured. I really like little floating rocks. I don't know why. I just really dig them. And so down here, same idea, right? This is obviously a 90-degree, like, hard corner. We need to fix that. It still looks pretty bad. Maybe we go up even further, right? Maybe. Maybe this is too bold. That was too bold. It was too much. I went too far. We're going like this, though. And also, you know what we can do? Maybe something like this. I don't know if I like that, actually. No, can we do that? We can't do that. If we did that, it would look weird because the void texture would be underneath the rocks on this end. And we don't want that. So, big rips, but it'll be okay. We've got that now. And we need to finish cleaning these areas up, right? So, something... Oh boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't know if I like this. It's fine. Can I place out here? No. Okay, it's fine. This is what I get for not planning ahead. It'll be fine. This looks organic enough. I really hate this far left edge, but there's nothing I can do about it because the laser turrets will block it, right? So it'll be fine. Next, we need to focus on maximizing casualties again, right? So we need to think about where we're going to place Teslas and things of that nature. Now, I don't know the range of a Tesla. I've completely forgotten. I think it's like 4 to 6 tiles or something like that. They're fairly short ranged, which is what I like about them. And what we're going to do with that is I like to space Teslas out in such a way that the human AI can still path through and around them. It makes it feel more natural to me. And what we're going to do... What I could do... Here's what we're going to do to maximize casualties. Is... Right, I can drag this. I keep forgetting. I keep mouse wheeling. And I'm like, man, this mouse wheel is super slow. Yeah, you're supposed to drag it. Fucking idiot. Anyway, so what I need to do... Right, these are going to be shooting... As the player encroaches on the AI base, those will be shooting at them. And also, it prevents the humans from going back this way, which is more important. And for here, this corner, I may do the same thing. Is just do this and call it done, right? Because I don't want the humans to path around too crazy. I want them to be fairly pocketed because it'll help control them in a way that maximizes casualties. And we're just gonna make a whole bunch of landmines all the way down this corridor, and the player has to go down here to finish the map. You can't just get around Landmine Avenue. A lot of my maps, when I do this, I leave a little like alternate pathway if you don't feel like dealing with them, but no, that will not be the case here. In fact, there's not enough landmines. I need to go back over it. So we're gonna put that. And where's my turrets? I need to get in the habit of doing this. I can click and drag. And we're going to put some landmines down. Very tasteful landmines, I might add. And I'm probably breaking my rules about chaining landmines together, but I kind of don't care right now. I'll try not to, but I really don't care. Okay, this should kill enough of the player's units where the humans in here can have some time to regenerate. And we'll go ahead and pocket some more landmines through here. Just because I like them. I think they're fun. I think landmines are very fun. And so for here, I kind of want to make it uniform as far as the landmine spacing goes, but then it doesn't match the rest of the map, so that doesn't make sense. So forget I said that. And what I'm going to say is, once the player leaves this little area, it's game on. And if they feel like leaving, you know, that's whenever the landmines start going off. Or, you know, if their Buggos decide to leave for them. Let's see. I don't want landmines in the player areas, though. Like here, I make an exception. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm not going to make the exception. I feel like it's stupid to have landmines in a place where the humans are actively walking over. Because to me, they should be detonating landmines, right? The Buggos are probably about as heavy as a tank, at most. And so if their tanks aren't detonating it, then why are the Buggos? And so we just have this last quarter left. And I think I want, that's right, even more Teslas. With some more landmines. And for here, what I might do, this might actually be impossible to beat. I can make some pretty sadistic maps, and I think this might actually... This particular quarter that I'm making right now might not be able to be beaten. I don't know. We'll see. But I have to play test the map afterwards. I might do some play testing right now, just to take the map all the way through completion, because I do play test my maps before I publish them, just to have something of quality. But it should be fine. So, do I want the humans to walk up here? Probably not. And then in this little boss chamber, right? If we want to think of it that way. That's right. Even more Teslas all over the place. Have fun. Yeah. So, I think this is more or less done. To me, this looks like a pretty sadistic map. Right? It might also break the AI. The AI is not designed to do all these tight corners and things, right? The way the AI is designed is you're supposed to be on this large open area, and they all just go in a general direction. So whenever I have these tightly woven pathways, it really fucks them. Fair warning if you play any other maps. You'll have to disable your hives a lot as you go, because if they're spawning over here and you're trying to get to here, they are hopelessly lost trying to get around this. So, something to think about. We're going to go to monthly theme, we're going to overwrite this, and I'm going to exit out to the main menu. And then we're going to load it up again, just to make sure. I don't want... I get scared of accidentally messing something up. Like, for instance, the Buggo pins, right? I don't want the player to spawn in, and there's just random pins in the bottom corner. Okay, we're good. So to me, this looks like a pretty good definition of Agony. So we're going to upload this to the workshop, and we're going to call this, what should I call this? Like Carnage or something? Well, I'm thinking about it. So, with my current OBS setup, right? Where is Discord at? It's over here. So with my current OBS setup, I need to have games be in borderless full screen. And this game does not have that, and it drives me nuts. So I should probably go ahead and suggest that. Oh look, he's probably making assets for the upcoming DLC thing. It wouldn't surprise me. Oh, right. Hello? Can I... Hello? Map objectives. My escape key doesn't work. What do I do? Oh shoot! I did the oopsie. I did the oopsie. Guys. Oh no. Oops. We'll place a marine down here somewhere. They're gonna spawn in and immediately win the level because I didn't put any humans on the game. Or on the board. So now we need to go into my workshop. Workshop items. So this one needs to be deleted. We'll go ahead and subscribe to this. So I forget how to get out of this. Maybe if I just or I need to save the map, right? Monthly theme, Agony, save. Is that okay? We freed ourselves. So we're going to exit out to the main menu, and we're gonna look custom levels. There's Carnage, and we can go ahead and test it out. I don't expect to get very far though. I think this is going to be very Boom Slug dependent. I think it's going to be very hard to get through without Boom Slugs. So as we can see, there's like about a 2 to 3 ratio over here of humans, because you need to think about that as a ratio. I hope the game's not too loud. It should be fixed. I haven't changed any settings from last time. Oh, right. Man, I haven't played this game so long. By that I mean like a few weeks. But whenever I start off, I like to just make a wave of builders so they can go through and build these nutrient pustules and get the game up and running. And we're just going to go ahead and send our guys this general direction and see how they do. It'll be okay. Something with the builders, if you don't know. I'm sure you'll figure out very soon. If you send the builders up this way and Nutrient U is enabled, they will just, I should probably disable builders. They will just start Nutrient Uing the entire map up to that direction. I need to get rid of the builders now. See, you can see the warriors are doing a lot of the work here. None of the other bugs made it to the end. And we can see the humans here filling up quite a bit. So, as I'm going through here, we need to start thinking about how we want to proceed our attacks with the map, right? There's not very much creativity as far as the player's options here. This is definitely a lacking map on that end. But what we can do is we can come down to here and start making some hives to keep pushing the advance. I think that's going to be pretty big on this map. It's just pushing with hives all the way up through. In case you're wondering why that works, by the way, you can think about, so this area, right, on the map, the area where there's travel time, you can think about that as like negative capacity in a way. That's how I think about it, is the travel time is essentially negative capacity. So this is eating into the Buggos that are actively on the field, which is why it works out so well whenever you put your hives really close, because you're utilizing your full capacity of Buggos against them, instead of just like a third at a time. Here we go. And usually when I place down a whole bunch of hives, I can just, this isn't very, I better see some high casualty numbers. I'm gonna be upset. I went out of my way with all these laser turrets. Anyway, so, whenever I have one hive that builds, I'll just go ahead and, disable all the other hives behind it, because this will spawn in and they'll go sideways and build these. And we'll go ahead and go this way. This is pretty effortless, actually. I kind of don't like that. I feel like it needs more landmines. Maybe that's the solution, huh? You just gotta build more landmines. Oh, shoot. Where did all my builders go? They're gone. They nutrient pasted. They committed a big Sudoku. I'm kind of wondering. No, I think the way we have the map now is probably fine. I think we're gonna have pretty high casualty numbers, so it'll be okay. Be better. If we don't have at least 2,000 casualties, I'm gonna be really upset. I'm aiming for 5,000, but I don't know how realistic that is. This doesn't feel like a 5,000 casualty map to me. Because the player can just keep their momentum, right? I've been maybe a little bit too careful about preserving the player's momentum through this. Like, I kind of have this to slow down their momentum, but I don't know if it'll be necessarily enough. And we can go ahead and start planning out some more hives as we advance. Again, so the travel times are doing a lot of work as far as spawning in humans. I think that's pretty good. Something I kind of want is I wish the humans had some way, like some very unfair advantage, or alternatively, I've been maybe a little bit too needy about it, but I really like the idea of maps with some sort of logic to them, right? So like, there's a button up here and it unlocks a door down here type thing, right? Because if you're thinking about the way your pins work, if you want to keep that held down so the rest of your buggos can pass through, you have to choose which of your buggo types you're not going to use until that you get past that area. So that takes an entire like fourth of your buggos and puts them way up in the middle of the corner, and then you have to use the other three to try to push through. I think that'd be a really interesting mechanic. Oh my goodness. This is the crawl. Maybe this is the agony. It wasn't the casualties, it was the travel time along the way. Maybe the real agony was the was the travel along the way. So we don't care about these. These aren't going to be useful anymore. We just want to keep pushing. This is another thing, right? So the humans have no real way to counter offensive, and they don't have... So if you think about the way combat usually works, right? So you have your front lines, and then you have like the back lines, right? So like where the supply is coming from, that kind of thing, right? So we can think of this as like a supply depot, or whatever you want to think about it as. There is no way for these humans to strike me in the ass and make me need to actually feel threatened, right? This area of the map, all the way through here, is conquered safely. I can build as many nutrient puzzles as I want, and they're never going to get attacked. Because the humans are never going to take through here. It's just something I'm not really thrilled about, but I get why it is the way it is. I think it would be equally frustrating. Like, I don't know a good way to fix that issue either, right? Or what you could do, I guess, is have artillery units. But then if there's an artillery here, for example, and it's firing your only hive left, and you have to go all the way through the map to attack this one artillery, that would be equally frustrating. So I kind of get it. See, the lasers. Look at the lasers go. Look at those casualty numbers. You love to see it. We're gonna go ahead and plop down another hive. And disable this one. Man, if we get, in the new DLC, if we get a Buggo that's super fast, it's going to fix so many of my map's issues. Because my maps are dense, right? There's a lot of traveling in between little nooks and crannies. See, and these guys are hopelessly lost. They're never gonna make it to the front lines. They're basically just dead. I have no way of killing them, but they're dead, in all essence. Oh, my cat's going nuts. And we're just gonna go ahead and see if they can push into here. Now I'm wondering if they're gonna keep trying to path back and forth along this edge, because they don't know which way to actually go. Hopefully that won't happen. He's so desperate. He really wants to get in here. It'll be okay. He'll survive. He gets plenty of attention all day, I swear. Now that is interesting. All these turrets are facing this way. Why is that? And they're not doing... Oh, I see. They're focused on something way over here. See, this is another thing that my maps do. They break the turret AI. So the turrets are currently focusing on something way up here because it's in a radius around them, right? They don't account for these walls. And so we just breeze right through there because they were focused somewhere up here. I think they would have died really fast either way though. Alright, now we're in the end game. So, I think that pound for pound, the Buggos are probably stronger than the humans. Or sometimes it can feel like that, right? Like, I feel like... I don't know... I feel like it would be useful to have humans have some way to, like, one-way transport through areas. Because if the humans had been able to go through here, but not the other way around, throughout this map, it would have made the map a lot more difficult. I don't know what that would look like though. Like maybe some sort of like a transport helicopter, like you see those big like Chinook helicopters. That could be interesting, or like a dropship of some kind. I don't know what that would look like though. Like maybe there would be some sort of building, right? Like one of these spawners, but instead of it being a spawner, it would spawn little dropships of like 3 or 4 units at a time and rain them down wherever the player has hives at. That would be really annoying. So yeah, maybe only active hives, or something along those lines, right? Or like maybe within a radius. So like it would sort of capitalize on the turret issue, right? So the turret's trying to focus through this wall. Well, if the spawner had a really big radius, it wouldn't matter that it can't shoot through the walls because it would be dropping units down on top of the tiles. Yeah, this game's awesome. I played a little bit too much. I have like 90 hours in this game. Oh, you love to see it. 2,000 casualties. That's what we were hoping for. So what I'm doing right now, I don't know if you use the workshop very much, Brontosaurus, but I'm the sessionist on the workshop that makes like half the maps in the workshop. And I'm making some more right now. So I think that was my map of the month for the Agony theme. And now we're going to make some more maps for the Sweet Taste of Death. So I'd like to... What do I want to do? These look interesting. I'm going to start with these. I don't know how to pronounce these. Tarte Tatins. We're going to make some of these, because they look tasty. And I'm hungry. And I've got muffins in there, but I'm not going to eat on stream because I'm weird about that. So we're going to take it out on this game instead. So we're going to load up. No, we're going to make a new. We're gonna make a new large map. And I might pop out for a second and turn on the AC because it's kind of sweaty in my room. So what we're gonna do, right? This is 2 tiles. That might be enough space. I kind of want to go 3 tiles on this though. And we're going to focus. I think this is going to run into a lot of issues that my other maps have, where it's a lot of small chambers, and smaller chambers favor the Buggos a lot more than the humans. But it'd be fine, because these look like, if we look at this, right? To me, that looks like a lot of really small chambers in the shape of a circle. So what we should be doing, actually, is we should be pulling up the circle template and just working off of this. So we've got our general shape, and we're not going to worry too much about any of this. All we care about is that this is in fact a circle on the outside. We'll shape up the inside however we like. What actually are these? Okay, there's apples. It's some sort of like apple bake. Interesting. I sort of, whenever I was looking for new maps to make for the Sweet Taste of Death, right? I want a baker's dozen for the map, right? Oh, I just made a big old oopsie. Maybe we can repair it. It's not too late. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Is that still the center of the map? Oh boy, howdy. Yes, it is. We're good. I almost lost the center of the map. That would have been kind of annoying. So that's the center. I'll make it a little smaller. And so what we're going to focus on, I want to put the player in a weird location on this one, right? This leaves a lot of room for creativity. And I think I might spawn the player in like the center somewhere, like maybe the center top left. And we just want a whole bunch of these small circles. By the way, it's auto playing, so if it plays like a whole bunch of slurs or something, I will have no way of knowing. Until it's too late, and then I'll just be banned. So hopefully it doesn't. This is just kind of like whatever YouTube wants to play is what it's playing right now. I started with spooky lo-fi, and it's just kind of, we're letting it take the wheels. So this looks like garbage, and we're not going to deal with that. No garbage map. I was going about that entirely too recklessly. If you look at the apples, they are all about the same size. In all these photos, they're about the same size, right? Because they're just apple wedges. So we don't want to make crazy shapes of all different sizes. That would look stupid and wrong. More important, it would look stupid. So we're gonna fix this part of the map real quick. Doesn't matter too much. We're gonna break the outside anyway. So these look like they are about. I'm gonna make them a bit bigger. They're all about 1/20th the size of the map though. So we want probably two layers of these circles. I'm gonna make them a bit bigger just for the sake of giving the humans a chance. Right, and then we've got our circular middle here, like that. And then we want another circle somewhere like this. And that should be good. And I'm going a bit more freeform than I like to with this, but this is for both the interest of time and I want to try something new, you know? Whenever I make these maps, I'm always a bit too calculated, I feel, and it shows, so we're not going to do that this time. Alright, so we've got a whole bunch of circles. These kind of look like little apples. I need to toy with that a little bit, but it's about right. Like, for instance, this one here is maybe a little too small. A little on the small side. Do something like that. I think this is the actual edge of the map here. Yeah, so I have to work with what I have along the outside, because I can't go any bigger. That's something to keep in mind. Maybe I should turn off the autoplay just in case. I'm kind of nervous. So sometimes when I leave it on autoplay, it starts taking me some weird songs. And, you know, I don't feel like getting banned tonight. Right now we're probably fine. But other times, we're not so fine. Okay, so this looks pretty rough right now, but that's okay. We're gonna work with some roughness. Importantly though, we need to shape these out a bit more. Make them a little bit more circular looking. Right, but we have the little circles in a very nice organized package. And that's what matters. Circles. Okay, I'm gonna go change the music real quick, because I'm getting paranoid. We don't talk about me listening to Weezer, okay? Shut up. I listened to them in high school. So we're gonna pull up. Where is this one? We're gonna do this one. Because I know all these songs are fine. And when you think about, I'm gonna go ahead and pre-place the player. And they're gonna go somewhere up in this corner. And in fact, what I might do for this, the way I might approach this map, is I might place all the things that I want in the capsules, and then form the capsules to be more favoritive of those items. So what we might do, we'll put a human spawn here, a human spawn here, one here. I'm gonna try to like space the human spawnings out a little bit, but I don't really care if they're touching it. Gosh, help! I'm like dying. It'll make the map more interesting. I've got the hiccups. I'm done. So here we go. That's quite a bit of human spawns. So we want to go ahead. I'm going to make these a little bit more round before I get too ahead of myself, just so they actually look like. Where is my picture? They actually look like little apple things. Because right now, some of these are very interestingly shaped. They look like if I made the dish instead of whatever professional chef made this. And then we can make that a little bit bigger. Now, importantly, there's not very much gap between all these, and I want to reflect that in the way I do my map. Right? We want very thin walls. This might lead to some interesting things. Okay. That's a little bit thick for my likings. This needs to be rounded out a bit. And this can come down. Okay, so we now have a pretty acceptable amount of roundness in this map. And we can start focusing on actually controlling how the player flows through the map now. So what we're going to do is something I really enjoy doing that maybe people that play my maps don't enjoy is I like exploiting the Buggos AI in ways that the player will find frustrating. And what I mean by this is the Buggos, of course, a core feature of this game is that the bugs auto-attack, right? So if you were to, say, put a wall right there, suddenly, when you get enough Buggos, they'll sort of span out a little bit, and one of those swarmers will find their way down here, because they always do, and they'll attack this wall, and it'll release all the humans to start attacking you. Now, that's fine on its own, but, like, what if there were more than one human spawners coming for you, right? What if there were, like, you know, say like 3 or 4, all coming at you at once? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Man, what an interesting choice. Wow, look at how topical it is, too. It's like I thought of that on the fly, and then I immediately implemented it. So, that's fine. And after the player flows through here, we want them to probably... I think this is a pretty logical way to go through the map. Something like this. So the player's going to go around like this, and snake their way through like that. And I almost want to give these humans up here a bit more time. And the way I can do that, because I want a lot of fighting on this map. It's going to be very, very close quarters, but very violent. Which is, you know, maybe describes me a little too well. I'm not a very violent person, I swear. So, I mean, I'm too scrawny to be violent. So the player is going to go, they're going to have to go all the way through here, right? After they finish dealing with all these, the player is going to have to flow through here. And by the time they've gone through these areas, these spawners will have had time to respawn. And you know what, we're not even going to do that, do we? Yeah, we want to control the humans and make them a little bit more clustered. Because we're going to make sure that the inside of this chamber favors the humans heavily. I mean, I love this song in particular, fucking slaps. And we're gonna put another way, just to give this map a bit more flow, because the poor Buggos AI needs all the help it can get whenever it comes to my maps. We're gonna put another one here, right? So the player can come along here, the player can also come along this side. And that might be fine. I need to go change my camera battery real quick, and also turn on the AC. Am I back? Okay, I'll be right back. Oh man, I feel so bad. I feel so horrible. So, you know, I got my door closed, so my cat won't come in here and start messing with my, start messing with the keyboard and stuff while I'm trying to do this. And I opened my door, and he's just got his, favorite toy right outside my door, and it was really heartbreaking. So, I'll have to, make that up to him in a bit. Oh no. Am I a terrible person? Probably. And we're gonna put a wall here just to contain the humans a little bit. I don't want them all wandering down this way and then leaving their spawner undefended. Or what I could do Oh man, what a swell idea I just had up in my big old brain. No, because then the Buggos. I was gonna put another thing down here and close this off so that they have more time to flow in here, but that would mean that the swarmers don't trigger this. So upsetting, but we'll have to compromise. What we can do though is put, right, I can scroll. We can put some Teslas in here anyway. And then after they flow through here, we can have even more command centers. So I'm kind of worried that there's too many command centers and it's going to divvy up the humans in an unfavorable way. I think that's going to be a big shortcoming of this map. Oh, before I forget, we're going to place a marine down here. You always have to place a human. If you just leave it default, you need to place a human on the map, or else the map will auto-complete and you'll just instantly win. Because it's checking if there's any humans when it starts the map, and there's no humans until the spawner waves kick out, so you'll just insta-win. Keep that in mind. So you'll go through here, and then we'll go ahead and put another bit of wallage here. This one's going to be a bit more substantial, because at this point, you've gone through the entire map pretty much. And we're just going to put some of these, and some Teslas, and maybe also... Do I want to do that? This might be a little bit awful of me, but we're going to do it. So that will favor them a little bit. And then, so I moved it so they only have a one tile choke point to get through to here. So it's gonna cause some casualties. And we need to plumb this in somehow. So what I might do is I might have this be a little middle way. Something like this, right? Where no matter which way you're going, you're probably going to trigger this hive right here. And it gives the map a bit more flow, because once you're on this back area, you've pretty much beaten the map. It's just cleaning up, right? So may as well give the player a little bit of quality of life. So we need to start thinking about, where are we going to put all these gosh dang landmines? Oh my gosh! And the answer is everywhere. Because man, landmines are so neat. Okay, you know, it's a good start. And we want to, of course, we need to utilize this space. We've got 3 whole chambers of nothing. And to me, that's unacceptable. So what we need to do then, we could, this is one of the starting chambers. So what I could do, I've already got too many spawners as is. It's tempting to put another one here, but I think we're already over the limit. I don't want to exacerbate the issue. So instead, we're just gonna place like 1 million Teslas, and also we're going to wall this off. Landmines, and just put 1 million landmines in here. So like as you're killing the Teslas, there's just endless amounts of landmines going off all the time, because you know, I like that. It makes me happy. And then they're gonna go through all these landmines, and then what? It will lead them here, and there's nothing here either. This is a shortcoming. There's not much I can do to really alleviate that issue. What I could do, what I might do, if I'm so bold, if I'm so brash as to do this, I might just go through, and I could play some turrets. That's tempting. Let me do that in a way that's pleasing. That's kind of okay. I might make a wall of turrets. So we need to think about this though. So if the player comes through this way, that makes it much more easy for them to just go through this way, right? Whereas this is much more of a wall, so we need to keep that in mind, maybe cognizant of that, And what we're gonna do is place some more right there. You can never have too many turrets. Or landmines. Mostly landmines. But turrets are okay, I guess. And just for good measure, you know, just a little cheeky landmine. So that's got that pretty well rounded. And I don't really have too much I want to do now, right? We if you look at our dish we're trying to replicate, we have a lot of small circles. They look very juicy, very tasty. Well, boy howdy, boy, do I have some small circles for you. And after the landmines go off, that's going to be some very juicy blood. If that's your thing, you know? Maybe not everyone fantasizes about Buggos blood as a syrup in their porridge. Maybe that's just a me thing. Who knows? And so we're going to go through something like this, right? Allow outcroppings. I'm just trying to break up. I hate, unless there's a certain reason for it, I hate really rigid designs. I hate it so much. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. And so we're gonna do something like this, where I fucked it, but it'll be fine. Oh no, is that the end of the playlist? Oh no. No! Well, you know what? I'm already getting copywritten striked, so we're gonna go into a different playlist now, and we're going to pull up. This is not the right mood, actually. We're gonna go back to spooky lo-fi because leave. Listen, I don't control what it auto recommends me. It just does it. It knows I'm a filthy weeb. I'm not actually a filthy weeb. It just thinks I am, so we're gonna roll with it. Anyway, what do I need? I need spooky lo-fi. Spooky lo-fi. There's one that says 4 ghosts only that we just heard. And then I don't know what this one is. I'm kind of scared to click it. We'll find out. Like some of the lo-fi, whatever. It has interesting words that it'll throw in every so often. And I'm kind of scared of that. Maybe we're fine. Maybe we're not fine. That's the last stream I ever have. We'll see.
Welcome to Aunt Martha's King Edward Hotel.
No one clip it if it says something weird. Please. I beg you.
Ever checks out.
So we're gonna do something like this. Honestly, I might just... That's fine. It'll be fine. And I think we're just about done here. I hate that so much though. No, I'm going to be violently upset. Okay. And what do I want to call this map? We already have one called Explosive Chambers, which, you know, maybe this should be Explosive Chambers 2 Electric Boogaloo. Who knows? I feel like it has so many Teslas, it deserves some sort of electric-y sounding name, right? Alright, I need to actually save the map first. So we're gonna go into Sweet Taste of Death. And what's the name of this? Tarte Tatin. Yeah. We're gonna save that. We're gonna go to the main menu. And we're going to reload it. And the reason I do this, the reason I go through, I exit the editor, then come back in, is if we... Oh, thought the file was lost. I was going to be really upset. There's no more destroyed rubble, right? That'll clear out all the rubble from whenever you destroy a human building. So if you want to make your screenshots look nice, that's a pretty decent way of doing it. If you want to focus on all the Teslas, right? So I'm going to make sure these are pretty centered, right? There's the player spawn. They can sort of see there's a lot of Teslas nearby. And we're going to upload this to the workshop as...
Behind each door,
Oh, I've spent too long thinking about it now, and now it's weird. I've overthought it. It's gonna be... Zippy Zap. It's gonna be shocking. It's gonna be, what's a weird electricity name? Electricity words. I can't spell.
hardly anyone ever checks in. Nobody ever checks out.
Hmm.
Welcome to Aunt Martha's King Edward Hotel. Hardly anyone ever checks in.
Electromagnetism. That's a nice sounding word. I kind of like that.
Welcome to Aunt
I
Martha's
can't spell it for shit though, so we're gonna copy paste it.
King Edward checks in.
Oh, it's not gonna let me copy paste it. Oh, please. I can't spell. That'll be fine. Electromagnetism? Did I spell it right? And then I go through and edit the descriptions afterwards on the workshop. Because I hate that it'll auto-capitalize every single word in the description. And that drives me nuts. So much.
You weren't able to see clearly inside your heart.
You've had me in deep hypnosis, and I...
Oh, right. And then we need to... So there's a bug right now where if you upload to the workshop and then you try to do anything afterwards, you'll notice all of your keys don't do anything. And what you need to do in that situation, I think it works for loading it too. If you just reload the map, you paste the def. This should, yeah, we can move again. Good. So we're going to exit the main menu and go to my workshop. Electromagnetism. We're gonna go ahead and play this. Custom levels. And what I like to do, I like to start off with a whole bunch of builders, and I'll just fill in my little area with like 1,000,000 pustules. And I'll also allow nutrient too, just to like really crank up the amount of econ I have going on, right? See, look, they're already going out and trying to attack things. I don't know why. I guess it makes sense from a mechanic standpoint of like why the Buggos attack the landmines, but in my experience, landmines are beneath the soil, so you don't actually see them until you walk over them and they detonate. Bit of an oversight, I feel, but also, you know, I'm sure the reasoning was there. And what's not happening that I want to have happen, I might need to make these a little bit closer. So what I want to have happen, it's happening right there. This is what I wanted to have happen. I want them to attack these walls on their own without me wanting them to. And they're a little bit too far away, so that's unfortunate. I think Explosive Chambers does it better, where it's literally like, this chamber right here has humans in it. But we'll live. It'll be fine. See, what I want to have happen right now. I might go through and fix it, I might not. I might delete these walls right here and just let the players flood in, or let the humans flood in, right? Just to allow for a bit more pressure. Because right now it's really easy because I don't need to focus on the top. I can just focus on the bottom. And that's not a desired behavior. I want this to be a very short but very dynamic feeling map. Oh. So we need to go up here now. See, these people should have been attacking us the entire time, but they weren't. So, oh well. Also, I might need to delete these ones with 2 in them. I might delete some and just make it a 1 because it's it locks off a lot of the humans in a place that doesn't get access for most of the map. And I may as well... Yeah, I'll go ahead and put a hive here. And another one right here. Maybe not right there. Go away. Be gone. I find it interesting they're pathing this way. It must be like one tile shorter. I might delete this too. These right here. It's making the map way too easy. Too many humans are walled off right now, and it doesn't feel dynamic. Yeah. So we pretty much won. I can go ahead and finish the map, but for my map testing purposes, all I care about has been tested. So we're going to go back into the editor, and we're going to load up that map we just made. And what we said was that, or what I said, I don't know what I'm saying, we, the one-sided conversation, I'm so sorry. And we want to get rid of those, right? Same for here, these can go away too. And that should allow a bit more interest. I want to wall them off from here though, and I want to keep them fairly contained here.
Poor woman, she's almost out of her mind.
Yeah. So we should be good then. So go ahead and save this and overwrite the old one. And I could retest it, but I think it'll be fine. It was already a very easy map before. Those small tweaks will make it more difficult, but not in a meaningful way. And I want to make sure in the screenshot you can see the hive next to these Teslas to sort of like give some interest. And I'll go ahead and upload this. Is there a human somewhere? Yeah. Look at me go. Upload this to the workshop as electromagnetism. Alright, so this is the old one. I'm gonna go and unsubscribe and delete it because I don't need it anymore. And here is the new one. And here we go. In the screenshot, you can see all the Teslas right next to the player spawn. And we're gonna go ahead and load a map because editor. And so next on our list, on our chopping block, we want to go through. What do we want to do? So the next thing on our list is... I've thought about these. I feel like between the one we just made and the one based on cookies, we might have too many small circular shaped maps, and they're all going to feel kind of the same. So I might skip on this. I have more. Alright, we've got Dan Tats, but also Rigo... Jansi, whatever this is. Right? It looked pretty tasty, I think. Yeah, it's just a big old piece of cake. Right? But it looks interesting, which is what I care about. So we might make that. Next, I kind of want to do cannolis or Jello first, though. I think Jello would be very iconic looking.
Say, aren't you a little too early?
What do you
So we
mean?
make a large map.
Doesn't seem like you're ready to join us just yet.
Join
I
me?
feel like
Yeah,
the
no,
media maps
just
are just not enough space to work
Folks
in.
don't tend to pass through Pottsfield.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's nice here.
So for the media map, right? We want to focus, or not the media, fuck, for the gelatin map. We want to focus on this iconic shape right here. This is what we care about. When people think Jello, they think of this. And so the way we're going to do this, we could start it flat on the bottom, but we know right off the bat that's going to be wrong because gelatin is famously quite curvature. So instead we're going to go a little ways up, like here. And what we're gonna do is delete that. I'm just gonna eyeball it. I don't really care too much. I'm trying to be less rigid about how I make my maps. These are about the same. It'll be fine. And this is gonna give us a nice little curvature at the bottom. We can go ahead and delete these. And so next we need to probably scope out the top, right? Well, we need to figure out how tall we want it, right? So we could go all the way up, and that's an option, but I feel like that would be a bit misplaced. I think we could conceivably go like, this is probably as tall as we want it, honestly. This is probably too tall, but we're gonna roll with it. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Anything past this line is already too tall. Because you don't really see tall Jello, right? It's sort of like a flatter, like almost, it's almost cake shaped, but it's not cake. Who'd have guessed? And so we're gonna go ahead and cap this off here. And we want to think about, so gelatin is slanted, right? So we want to incorporate that slant into this map. And the way we're gonna do that is something like this. And again, this is too tall, so I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Even more. Maybe the media map would have been fine, but then it's not wide enough, so it would have not been fine. Something I kind of wish the editor did that it doesn't do right now is for the different map sizes, right? It would be really useful. So I feel like there should be a maximum size for the maps, and that should just be static. And then the small, medium, and large and stuff just determines how much pre-placed sand is there. I know that's not how the code is written at all on Will's side. I don't think that's how it's written at all. I think what it's probably doing is whenever you load up a prefab, it's probably just using the sand to determine the bounds of the restrictions instead of having like a static number stored somewhere for each prefab. So I get why that would be unreasonable to incorporate, but also please do it. Because no one's gonna fucking use the media map. It's so useless. Same for the small may as well not exist either. Small is way too small. No one's gonna use the small map. I think I've tried using the small map before, and it's so small even I couldn't make it work. And like, I'm pretty familiar with the way the Buggos editor and stuff works. Right? I've got like 50 hours making maps or something at this point. This is what I do for relaxing sometimes, is I just make maps in this game. So, you know, I feel fairly qualified to talk about this. Is this, alright, so yeah. I'm gonna go a little bit similar on this, just to make it look like it's very well distributed Jello. And then about here, about here is where we want this, and then this will come down to like there. Yeah. We're gonna go down. Do I care about, where is this? Where are we? We can go ahead and move this up a little bit. I don't think anyone's gonna notice the one tile difference. Well, unless you're like me, and then you would have noticed it, and it would have driven you nuts. So we're gonna avoid that. This one's not the map theme of the month. It doesn't have to cause agony. And we need to focus on these little rounding shapes, right? So the way we're gonna do that is we're going to go up 2, 1, we're gonna go over like 3 or 4, and then go right back down. And it might look a little bit like a butt. I'm not sure yet. I hope it kind of does look like a little bit of butt. A whole bunch of little butt cheeks. That'd be pretty funny. Maybe it's just me. And the way we can go about this. How intricate do I want the artiness of this to be? I don't know yet. Because if you think about gelatin, right? If we're looking at it at an angle, some of the slopes are gonna, the ones dead on are gonna be much wider than the ones on the sides, because we're only seeing some of the little sides. So like, I could slope accordingly, but I'm not sure if I want to get that intricate. I might. I think it would look nicer. Sure. There's that. And then this is gonna come up and over like 5 this time. No. That was wrong. I did a bad. 3, 4, 5. And this can... That looks so bad. No. I am violently upset. There we go. That kind of looks like gelatin. We're not going to talk about perspective anymore. Shush. I tried. I'm not going to go super detailed on this. And we know that the gelatin is going to have these lines going out, right? And we know that the center lines are going to be a lot longer than the outward lines, just to give it some perspective. Now, the way we can divvy up this map is we could start the player on the bottom. I think it's a very traditional way to go about it. I kind of want to start them way up here, though, just to be weird. And we're going to put some little gaps in here somewhere, right? We want to keep the idea of a line existing, but we don't actually want a full wall there, because it will it'll fuck up with the AI and the map flow, and we don't want that. I want this to be a fairly wide open map where I can just spam ass loads of units right at the player, and there's nothing the player can do about it. Except, you know, be very sad. Which is what we want. So I'll put 2 here. This will put a little bit of pressure on the player. We'll put 2 more here. I'll put another one down here at the bottom. And then I'll sort of like... I put a couple more along here like that, right? And what that means is these tunnels now become the primary fighting arena. And to make it favor the humans a bit more, we can go ahead and put some Teslas in. And then my favorite thing, that's right, we're not going to put any landmines. That's dumb. Listen, I told you guys, we're not going to put landmines where the humans can walk because that's stupid. Anyway, so next we can go around the outside of the map. And I hate the look of this sand texture next to the void, so we're going to fix that. It drives me nuts. I'm talking way too fast for this chilled out music. I need to like chill the fuck out again. These are supposed to be chill times, and I'm way too excited. Someone stop me. Someone hold me down. And man, please. What time even is it? It's midnight for me. It's midnight, and I have an exam to study for, and instead I'm playing Buggos. This is the life I lead. Oh well, it'll be fine. I've got all weekend. That's how it always goes. So we're going to... Will, why do you do this to me? Why do you do this, Will? I want some laser turrets facing upwards, but I cannot do that. It's the artistic team of Buggos, which is also Will. Will, I'm looking at you. Why are there no laser turrets going upwards? Anyway, so we're not gonna have laser generators because they don't make sense on this map, but we can put more Teslas. I'm gonna riot if there's no directional laser turrets after this map is done, or after the the DLC and everything is all finished and he moves on to the next game, I will start raiding. Okay, so there's that. You know what this needs? I'm being stupid. This is what it needs. We have a shitload of these. No, we don't want to do that. We want the humans to attack. What we could do though. Right about here. 1, 2. We're gonna go through and add some turrets. I'm trying to think about how fortified I want this to be. And I might go as far just to be mean. This is just me being mean. Because I can. And we're going to do that, right? It gives us some rock tiles there. And this is just so as the player is coming down here and they start attacking all these, they have quite the formidable force down here to contend with. So if they're trying to get across the map like this at the bottom, it'll really mess up their day. I don't think it's gonna matter too much though. I think the player's just gonna steamroll this map. This is what I would call it, like a 3 out of 10 map as far as difficulty. I can do anything else, right? Because I would normally be placing landmines right now, but I can't do that. And yeah, so I just need to go around the outside. This is a very simple map. I don't know how I feel about that. It'll be fine. Oh my god, I can place more tiles down here. I forgot. This is so useful.
The shuttered room.
It's a shattered room.
At dusk, the wild, lonely
Okay, I think this is good for this map.
to the village of Dunwich.
So now we need to save this
More
as
than it ever does by day. Twilight
Jello.
lights, barren fields and domed hills, the strangeness that sets them apart.
And I'm going to exit the main menu to wipe all the debris from the map. And I'm going to reload the custom levels. And we are going to load up the Sweet Taste of Death. And we're going to go into Jello and upload this. And this should be a very easy map. I kind of want to put the screenshot where it's just a player surrounded by Teslas. I think that would be pretty funny. What do I want to call this? I've already got one called Magma Tubes, so we can't really go on the tubes too hard. It kind of looks like a fist. We could play off of that. I don't like having map names that are too verby, right? I don't want them to have like an action going on. I want it to just be like a name. So I can't do like punching. I could just call it Fists of Fury. I'll have to change the map name after that. That sounds kind of stupid, but I'll roll with it for now. I could call it Foo Fighters. That might be interesting. Hold on. That's what we're gonna call it. I need to put the human on this anyway. I forgot about that. We'll put a human right there. And we're gonna save this map, overwriting the old one. And we're gonna call this actually Foo Fighters. Is Foo Fighters one word or two? I can't remember. Who works?
Innsmouth people. Controlled to nothingness after Sarah's death, with Luther hoping that Putin's confinement might shrivel the thing in the shuttered room.
That's gonna be temporary too. It's just too dumb. It'll be fine. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go into the workshop. And we're gonna subscribe to this one. And I'll go ahead and get my old one too, just so I can playtest it later. Just to make sure. And so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and play it. Hello? Oh right, I need to I'll go ahead and save it. Just to be safe. Main menu, we're gonna go to custom levels, and we're gonna go ahead and play it. And boy howdy, we better get a move on because this is gonna be fast. Oh no. Okay, we gotta start spawning other stuff in. And we also gotta build a hive. Multiple hives. Maybe this is difficult actually. I thought this was gonna be super easy, but maybe it's not. No, it is. This is super easy, right? Because the humans don't target you. They're just milling around down here at the bottom, which is what I expected to happen. Something... I'll have to suggest that to Will after this. Because the way the humans and stuff work in these levels right now is very unsatisfying, right? And it would be very nice if the humans, after you go through... So say I'm doing my current thing like right now, right? Where I'm rampaging around the map, and the humans aren't doing anything. There's loads of humans, they could be stopping me right now, but they're not. And I think a way to go about this is, so in survival mode, whenever you start up a, whenever a new wave starts, right, all the humans on the map target your location. And I think if that triggered every single time a, one of these outposts got destroyed, like the command centers, if that triggered when a command center was destroyed, that might really help the flow of the game. Because right now the humans are useless. I think that would go a long way. Something needs to happen where the humans actually target me. Because there should not be this many humans doing absolutely nothing right now. Because I should have just got my ass handed to me, but I didn't. And instead I'm gonna win. Oh, whoops, I can actually get on this. And yeah, this is flowing about how I thought it would. So I could finish out the map. I'm gonna just go ahead and call it here though, just for the sake of time. I'm gonna be making quite a few maps today, so I need to preserve time. Also, gonna go to my menu. Where is Discord? I keep closing it out. I don't know why. What? Where is suggestions? Feedback. So... Dynamic. Dynamic. And, so if a player is rampaging around the map, they destroy a thing that the humans I just have to reread my text because it's like, as I am, I don't think in sentences, right? So I think about thing, and then the adjectives afterwards, and then what are those things doing, and then what are the words that I need to connect the thing to what it's doing to make it an actual sentence, and it's awful. That's how my brain parses sentences. I have to reread stuff. Summer to survival mode when a new wave spawns.
Jim Rex? What's Jim Rex?
A bit.
Would you believe a movie audience guide presented as a public service by this theater's management to help you select your motion picture editing?
Okay, so we got gelatin. So we need 2 more maps, right? How long have I been doing this, by the way? Am I still alive? Maybe I'm not live. Who knows? I've got to be live. Where is my time on how long I've been live? Am I stupid? I've been live for 2 hours. It's right there at the bottom. It says live, and it tells me how long. Man, I'm just really dumb. Okay. Anyway, we're going to keep going along this. And so the next map we need to make is going to be based on, like, cannolis. Could be good. We can do another easy map real quick, though. Like, this map is... Sorry about that. This map's going to be really easy to do, I think. Right, because it's just a layer cake. We could do the little whipped cream thing on top. That could be interesting. Maybe that's how we add interest to the map. Because I hate the idea of just having a perfect cube. But like, what can you do? This is literally what it looks like. So we'll base it on this one. I might make this a medium map. The ever legendary medium map. It's being used. Medium. Oh man. This is gonna be a small map. By small I mean medium. That's what it is. And so we need to think about this, right? Or do we need a tall map? These look like a quite tall piece of cake. Right? Like, look at these ones. These are massive. And I think that... So is it like cake with a filling in the middle? Man, this makes me so hungry. I really want these now. It's like some sort of filling in the middle. But, so, what do we want to do then? We probably want a tall map. New map, we're gonna go tall. And we're going to immediately delete all the edges of the map. And the reason I delete the edges, in case you're wondering, is afterwards I can go back in and put some regular rock tiles, and it won't look like the sand. Like, this looks really bad to me. So I try to avoid that where I can. And we know that we really want to focus on making this... This is already pretty narrow, actually. I'll go ahead and take another layer off, though. And so for me, we need to really focus on how tall is this whipped cream going to be? Because, man, it looks really tasty.
There's something wrong with me.
That's what I'm thinking about right now. I just... Man, look at this. Tell me that doesn't look good. So, what we're gonna do... We're gonna go ahead and do this. This is way too fucking wide. Is it too wide? This is too wide. We're gonna narrow this. We're gonna take it like this, right? Something like that. I want it to be able to fit on one screen, roughly. So we'll take that and that, and that'll be good. Maybe tall was not the right choice, but I don't think medium is going to be as tall as we need, and I don't want to deal with large because I've already chosen large for the past 3 maps, and I try to use different presets where I can, but like it's really hard not to just make a large map every time because it's just such a nice setting, or compared to the others at least. Alright, so we've got that. And this looks like it's about as wide as we want it to be. So now we think about proportions, right? So, that's a wide boy. Look at that. I guess that makes sense, right? It's just squares of cake. This is the piece, that one in the background that's the piece I would be cutting out for myself. Those look really good. So, we're gonna use the body of this one with the little whipped creamy thing on the other one. Because man, that sounds really good right now. So we're going to, if you think about this, it's about twice as high as it is wide, more or less. So we want to keep that in mind. So we can probably cut it right here. Right, and this is still pretty tall. And it's about the proportions we want. Maybe this is still a little too tall, actually. We're gonna take it down a little bit. Because the piece I'm looking at right now is already a tall white piece. Compared to all the other cakes that I've seen in the images. So maybe we bring it down a little bit. This is still fairly large, so we're good. Sorry about that, jeez. You probably can't even hear it. I'm doing like little micro burps. I don't know if we need the details on this, but it's like, I want to do. Where's the little whippy cream thing at? But I think what it is, I ate a whole bunch of food all at once, and then I sort of haven't eaten anything in a hot second, and then I'm drinking this this beverage after drinking a whole bunch of water, and it's like the perfect culmination of things I should not have done before the stream. So we want the whipped cream to be about this wide, right? We can make it wider. Oh, we can make it wider. Look at whipped cream. Oh boy, howdy. So we're gonna do something like that, right? We're gonna little whipped cream on top. And what we want to do, we want to make sure the whipped cream looks rounded. So we're gonna make sure immediately right off the bat, that's gonna be like this. Right? And that's a little bit too flat compared to what I'm looking at. So we're gonna do this. And whipped cream is a very inorganic shape, right? Like, you can kind of get it about the same, but it's never gonna be like a perfect whipped cream. There's always gonna be a variance to it. But, you know, here I am making it perfect. Anyway, I'm gonna slope this inwards a bit. I can't help it, guys. I can't help it. I work on ratios all day, every day. This is just how my mind works. I think in ratios, okay? You get ratioed. Okay, so there's a little whippy cream. It looks like dog shit right now. We can fix this. So we need a bit more verticality to it. Then we're gonna go about this. I think this is gonna do a lot for us. That looks like garbage. Maybe it'll look better once we get like a little bit more of these like whippy cream lines. Something like this. 100% this looks exactly like whipped cream. You can't tell me otherwise. Even got the little like twisty bit where like you probably twist it a little bit or something, or like do a little swirly effect. This is basically perfect. You can't tell me otherwise. But we're gonna do like this. And I'm actually going to override the, what are they called? Cliff tiles. I'm gonna override those with sand because I want to put some sand underneath the outside. I feel like maybe he's not. Maybe he's too busy. I feel like Will is secretly watching this stream, and every time I go into Discord to talk about the suggestion, he's already heard it because he's already listened to me bitching about it, and he's just like, oh, okay. My lines, I wasn't thinking, and now the lines are gone, and they were so good and so perfect, and I'm never gonna get those lines again. Dang it. This is what I get. I got sassy with Will, and he struck back. Anyway, so there's that. Wait. Do something like this. We want it to slope like that, right? So we want to do something like this too. Yeah. That looks like some whippy cream. And so now what we need to do, if you're like me, the cake is just kind of there as like a bread sandwich thing for your filling, right? If you're eating this, I'm more concerned about what's in the middle here. So we're gonna display that love for filling in this map by making the filling a little bit bigger than either side. It'll be okay. Don't worry about it too much. So that's the basic shape, right? You've got the basic shape. I need to drink more water because my voice is starting to go all crappy and gravelly, and my mouth's all dry. But so we're going to spawn the player up here in the whippy cream. No, we're gonna spawn the player in the middle, in the filling. The player is in the filling. No, they're not. That's stupid. The player is gonna be. They'll be in the whippy cream. Fine. Player gets to be in the whippy cream. Enjoy your whippy cream. You don't deserve it, but I'm giving it to you anyway. Be happy. Be thankful. Gosh. Man, I'm gonna eat so much. You just don't understand. After the stream, I've got like a whole tub of ice cream I've been putting off. I'm just gonna go nuts eating it. Like, you don't understand the sugar cravings I get. Like, the amount of ice cream you normally eat on like a date, I eat all by myself, and then twice as much of that. That's how much ice cream I usually eat. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna do something like this. Now we need to capitalize on these spaces, right? We can't just leave all this space untouched. And I might just make this more avenues for the player to attack from. Yeah. And the reason we're going to give the player so much leeway is because, man, this is going to be a very painful map to play. Hello? So how do you want to do this? I'm trying to think about the way the human AI is going to react as the player goes through here, right? So, I know the middle. The middle is going... We'll start with what I know, right? We'll start with what I know and work from there. So, the middle... Man, if I had put the player at the bottom, I could have put Tesla towers. Oh well, it'll be fine. Or not Tesla, lasers. We're going to just space an absolute buttload of these Teslas all over the middle. And you know what goes well with Teslas? Aw, yeah, it's landmine time. And if I want to be mean, what I can do, I can go through and I can make it so the mission objective is to destroy all the buildings instead of all the humans. So you have to kill all these Teslas. It'd be so annoying though, so I'm not gonna do it. But like, it's a thought. If I want to be evil. Alright, we'll delete that. Delete this one. Any other landmines? No. Okay, good. And so now we want to put some little gaps in the bottom. So the way I'm thinking about this right now is I know I want the player to flow in from the top, and I want them to cover a decent amount of the bottom, as far as like the way they're going to work their way through this map, right? So to incentivize this, what I'm going to do is... Oh, my cat is trying to get through the doorway. He's failing miserably. I'm going to put entrances on the sides. And what that's going to do, the player has to then flow through these diagonals and through here. And these corners will probably get missed. No one's going to actually go down there, but, you know, what can you do? I guess what I could do, I could do this, right? Put little like 1 gaps. But then the pathfinding AI is just going to be right down the middle. I don't want that. That's not a wanted behavior. So we're not going to do that. And what we're going to do, we're going to wall these off. And I'm going to go ahead and place a marine because I know I'm going to want one. Just to satisfy the mission objective. What I haven't done in a while, what I might do, hold on, this marine's gonna have to die. They live for so long. I haven't made a map with a lot of buildings on it lately. I focus on maps that have a lot of the military assets, but I don't place enough housing, and I want to get better about doing that. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap up here, and the reasoning for this is I want some humans down here as far as like spawning goes, but I don't want that to be the emphasis, right? They already have this massive minefield in front of them, so it'll be fine. And we're just going to fill in all of this. And the reason I do it this way is I feel like it makes it look like a more natural urban area. To an extent, I can see the appeal of having a perfect grid, right? You look at places like New York City, especially, you get like perfect grids. But then that doesn't really tell the full story, does it? Because the skyline has different heights. And you can't really emulate that in this game. Like, you'll never be able to. It's just the nature of the way this game is, right? You're not going to have a skyline-looking thing. So the way we can emulate that effect, though, is if we go through and make a little gradient, or not a gradient, but like a this effect, right, where it's like sort of parsed out, and that will give us something similar to a skyline. I might put a command center down at the bottom, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Because the main emphasis for command centers is going to be in this area. And I don't want to place them too close, but I do want to put the player on edge. And I feel like that's a pretty good amount. They're going to have a rough time. This is going to be rough. As far as difficulty goes, this is going to be a rough one. And so, do I want anything else in here? Maybe some Tesla towers. I feel like Teslas and these spawning posts go really well together. Maybe here. That's one too many Teslas. No, it's not.
For the sake of your sanity, pray it isn't true. The legend of Hell House.
Okay, that should be good. And then, what I might do? This is bothering me. I get bothered by the smallest little things. So this looks like a pretty okay map to me. I need to make it look less like a perfect square though. And then we're going to accomplish this. I know, it doesn't look like I'm doing much right now, I swear, it'll look better. I have a plan. There's a plan, guys. Bear with me. Alright, so I got something to carve into now. And I can start chipping away like this. We want to keep the interior to be pretty square though. And the reasoning for this is we want to, the way I do these Sweet Taste of Death maps is I try to make sure that the interior of the map, as far as like the playable space, still looks like the food. And then the outside will look more like natural terrain. My cat's going ballistic right now. He can hear me talking, and he wants to be in here. He hasn't been pet in like at least 2 hours now, and this is 2 hours too many. He needs that affection. He's a baby boy, and he needs all of his affection. This looks too weird. I went too far. We strayed too far. Maybe that's fine. That looks fine. And so what we're gonna do now, go along the bottom, ready this up a bit, and we are in the home stretch as far as this map goes. Now, something I'm doing that I haven't mentioned, I mentioned it when I made the chocolate bar map. I want to invoke a sense of verticality for this map, right? So as far as these little like fringy edge things go, I'm not going to have them go horizontally, I want them to go vertically. Because it won't do anything as far as the functionality goes, but the map itself will still feel more vertical than it actually is. I don't know if you guys can hear it. He's going ballistic. Like, it would not surprise me if the mic's picking him up right now. That's okay, my roommate's got him. It's fine. So, I really hate this. It feels like it's just out of place. That makes it look better. It's fine. This looks acceptable. Not the greatest map I've made, but it'll be okay. So we're gonna go ahead and save this under the Sweet Taste of Death, and we are going to, what's it called? I don't even know. I don't even know if Buggos supports some of the characters in this, as far as fonts go. This is not, by the way, in case you're wondering why I named them after what it is, stuff like this is so I can go back in later and I can be like, man, that looks really tasty, what is this? And then I can look it up and be like, man, I wish I was eating this right now. Because you're wondering why the names are what the food actually is. I mean, it helps to keep track of what's what. That's the main reason. Go to level editor, you can go ahead and load that back up. Oh no, where is it? There it is. So, this is going to be very difficult. This is going to be a difficult map. What do I want to call this? Man, naming stuff's so hard. You can tell I'm a programmer because I can't name this stuff. It's a lot easier when I'm like not trying to think of it on the spot, like on a stream, but like I can't do it. These will probably have different names by the time you actually play these. So go ahead and upload this to the workshop under the name. What namey name do I want to give this? I've already got a whole bunch named after spaceships and stuff. I don't want to keep doing spaceship stuff. Fine, we'll just call it more space stuff or something. I guess. Next. Whatever. It'll have a better name, I swear. So we're gonna go ahead and load the map. We'll load a map. It doesn't matter. We just need to get out of that so we can actually interface. Go to the main menu, custom levels, my items. There it is. And oh, we gotta go back. There it is. This is gonna be difficult. This is gonna be a very difficult map. Might be too difficult. We'll see. Maybe this should be my map of the month for the Agony, because like, man, this is gonna be rough. Okay, we'll go ahead and spawn in some builders just to get ahead of the curve. Oh man, yeah, this is rough. This is really rough. Might be too rough. Once this tank wraps around the corner, it's all over. We're not gonna be able to counter this tank. Oh no, tank's doing tank stuff. Oh no. This feels like a map where boom slugs would be very useful, because it's like a lot of very tightly packed units. No? We're doing it. We are slowly breaking into this area. Like, it's very gradual, but we are winning. This is a thing. If it's doable without boom slugs, it's especially doable with them. We need to kill this flamer. Okay, good. What's our nutrients? Basically none. Oh no, this tank. This might be it for us. Okay, we're good. If I can get some builders up into this area, that could be really good. This is definitely winnable. Okay, it was really rough at first, but we're fine. Once I finish this area, I'll probably go ahead and just call that a win. This is mostly here for the sake of it being a cake, and I need this to be like a filling layer that's visually distinct from the other two layers. This is not, like, this is, the challenge is all up in the front, right? This is just cleaning up down here. Might be stalemating. No, we are winning. It's just very slow. Yeah, we would have already won by now if we had slugs. In case you're wondering why I don't have everything unlocked for these, what I do... Sorry. I've already gone through that, but help. So the reason I don't use a lot of them, so there's about 82 evolutions in the game, and my current tech tree that I have, right? So right now the way the level editor works, whatever your unlocks are in the campaign that you're currently playing, that's the ones you'll use whenever you're playing these maps. And so what I like to do for mine is, so there's 82 total evolutions, more or less. I think I might be off by one. They're all on a huge spreadsheet if you are curious about the stats and stuff there. But so there's about 82, and so I use about 41 evolution points. And I try to avoid things like, if you notice down here, there's like no spore launchers and stuff, right? I try to focus on just purely the Buggos, so like, you know, the actual beetle things, as far as what I'm balancing my maps around. Because I think things like, you know, once you start introducing all the buildings and like the slugs and stuff, it's very clear the player's going to win, right? But whenever you don't have that sort of building permanent, it makes the game a lot more difficult, because suddenly the only thing stopping the humans from crippling your advance is whether or not that hive gets destroyed, right? There's no defenses outside of your bugs and like whatever amount of distance between your hive and the humans there is. And I feel like that makes for a lot more of a dynamic gameplay. The buildings are really useful though. Just like I try not to bounce my maps around. It's doing the thing. This is what I was hoping it would do. So the Buggos have destroyed some of the walls down here, and the humans are starting to pour out. I don't want this to be like a full-on second offensive, but I want this to be like one last surge of resistance, which is exactly what's happening. Honestly, it might be so resistive that I need to put some more hives down here. And in case you're wondering, this is much more of like the types of levels that work really well for the way the game's designed. Like it's a large open area where you can do a lot of fighting across a large space on it, right? All the close quarter combat stuff that my maps tend to focus on is not at all what the game's balanced for or what the AI is designed to do. I just do them because I think they're fun. Oh? What's the map objective? I guess we gotta kill all the buildings. I don't know if I actually did that on purpose or not. You know what it is? No, I don't know what it is, actually. It might just be kill all the buildings. I think it is. Okay. We won! Okay. That was exactly how I wanted that map to go. Main menu. So we have one more map to do, right? And we're gonna make this one based around cannolis. So I can go ahead and delete these. Yes, this is an unironic list of map ideas I keep in my Google Docs. We're not gonna talk about it. And yeah, so cannolis. How do I want to do these? So a lot of these feature them going vertical, and I think that's what most people are going to associate, right? Is these tube shapes. They're not going to recognize it as much if it's going horizontally. You're just the way your brain works, right? You're not going to recognize them if they're horizontal because it's not what you're expecting. So what we may do is I'm trying to think. All right, we'll go ahead and load up a new map, a large one. This is going to be a very horizontal map. We already know that right off the bat. So the question is, how horizontal do we want it, right? Well, I can go ahead and take a big chunk off of here. And I can go ahead and take a big chunk off of here. I'll go ahead and take this one off too. And so the reason I'm doing this is I think I want the map to more or less be the same size as, or the same height as one of my screens. And this should be about a screen height. I need to delete a little bit more, but it should be about a screen height. Because if I look at these cannolis, right, they're fairly short. Like these ones are kind of long, but in general, they're fairly short compared to like, I don't even know, like a Bratwurst or something. I'm really thinking about food today, guys. Help. I'm going to delete this too. I'm trying to take about the same amount off of each side. It doesn't really matter at this point, because I'm never gonna... None of my decorations are gonna go this far down. But it'll be fine. Maybe 2 more off each one. You know what, that's fine. 1 more. One more. 2. We're gonna do exactly what I said before. Here we go. Okay, so this is about what I was expecting. And I think I want about 7 cannolis. And we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna map out how much space do I have here? None. So we're gonna go ahead and take off 2 from each side too. And you know, this is about the size of a media map more or less. I think media maps are a little bit bigger on the tallness. So it's a little bit smaller than a media map, but you know, we got a media map in the works, so that's cool. And so these cannolis need to be about the same size, and that's going to be the tricky part. And I want them to be about that wide. Maybe we only make 5 cannolis. This is going to go over 1. Okay, so we got some cannolis. Now the question is, do I want a gap between them, right? Because right now this looks like they're chained together as one big entity. But what I could do is this, right? And suddenly, the way you interpret this, right, these are one big entity with a line down the middle. These are multiple entities, which I think could be fun to play with. And we'll go ahead, we'll do that last actually. It's gonna fuck with me. No, why? No, stop. Stop that. This looks pretty good. So they almost just look like it's like a tortilla shell. Is that what this is? Is it's just okay. It's like a tasty little wrap, but with chocolate. I like that. So how do we want to emulate that then? It's a very interesting shape to try to replicate. Could do. Oh boy. Boy. Could do something kind of like this. That looks about right. Right? That kind of looks like a wrap. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. So here's this. And we're just gonna emulate this, right? So... Oh, whoops.
The only way to destroy him was to plunge a wooden stake into his heart. May God have mercy on my soul.
Okay, so next we want to... Well, I already know how the top list is going to go, right? We've got a pretty clear pattern about how the tops are, so we can just do this. Go away. Stop that. Man, I am so glad it's not auto-played some weird song. This has been very fortuitous. You know what I need to look into? So, obviously my last VOD got flagged for copyright, but can my channel get removed if I get too many copyright flags? This is a thing? Should I be worried? It's probably fine. Like, obviously I'm not going to get monetized either way, but I don't know how much that really matters. It's fine. And so we got all these cannolis we need to do. I'm trying to make the wraps look a little bit different, but like they're wraps. How much more different can you make them? And we're almost done. I might make this one go up a little bit, actually. Okay, so we got all of our wraps done. Now the question is, how do we turn this into a map? More importantly, how do we convey this as cannolis? Right? So it looks like chocolate chips are a pretty common trend between all these images. I assume they can be filled with whatever, but it looks like chocolate chips look like a pretty common one. So how... I don't know if I have a way of emulating that level of detail and still make it legible. I could do this, right? And that kind of looks like chocolate chips, but it just looks like random garbage too. At that point, what it's doing is it's destroying usable space for something else. So that becomes problematic. And then we're going to do the player spawn. So let's go ahead and start doing this. Player spawn is going to be here, just because. We're going to put human spawn here, another one here, like that. And now I need to figure out how I want this to flow. So immediately, I know I want this human spawner to be a threat. So we're gonna let the humans flood out this way. We're gonna flood out this way. Maybe also this way? Well, if they're going that way, I might as well do this.
When Lavinia was 12 years old, had not helped to make the place popular.
So we'll do this.
Isolated among strange influences, Lavinia was fond of wild and grandiose daydreams.
So, as far as I can tell, the humans seem to enjoy... they really don't like one-tile corridors. Or they don't mind it, but it's not their preferred width. So I try to avoid that. And we'll do something like this. And I could make this usable space for the player. I think I'll be nice. So do that. And then the player will flow through this way. And maybe this way.
Some trace of the pride later noticed in his daughter, and what he said of the child's paternity was remembered by many of his hearers years afterward. The only persons who saw Wilbur during the first month of his life were old Zechariah Wakely of the undecayed Wakeleys, and Earl Sawyer's common law wife, Mamie Bishop. Mamie's visit was
Yeah. Okay, so the player is going to flow through here. If they want to get up to here, they will flow in through this way. If they want to get to here, they'll flow in directly like that. Now, an issue we're going to have, as far as the map goes, is utilizing all these tiny pockets on the end caps. Because I don't like having dead space on my maps. It feels wasteful. So I try to make sure people have a reason to go places. I don't know what I can do here though. What I could do. This is a little trick I like to do sometimes. Is, well, actually they'll place the tile. Here we go. And what we'll do is this. So they have a reason to attack this. I don't know if it's a great reason, but you know, it's about the only thing I can think of to do right now. It might make it a little more difficult to actually invade the humans here too. And that's always worth something. Now we want to make sure we have, we'll go ahead and place the marine now before I forget about it. Oh, we don't want to upload this. Map of objectives. What's our current objective? It is blank. I think it defaults to destroy all the buildings. So that's a big whoops on me if I didn't do that in the other maps. It'll be fine. So we'll go ahead and set this to kill all humans though. And so this already has a bit of a flow going to it now. Then we have spaces like this, where I don't know, this is going to have a decent amount of pressure on the player, but then once they destroy this initial challenge, how do I keep some sort of sustained pressure on the player to keep advancing, right? That's a big issue. So something we can do is something like this.
Mentioned having seen the boy running sturdily up that hill ahead of his mother about an hour before the blaze was remarked.
I don't know if they'll attack diagonally through that.
But he nearly forgot his
They might. We'll find out. So that'll give the player a bit of challenge as they enter here, as well as a Tesla tower.
Afterward, he could not be sure about the boy, who may have had some kind of a fringed belt and a pair of dark trunks or trousers on. Wilbur was never subsequently seen alive and conscious without complete and tightly buttoned attire.
Okay. I might put... I'm trying to think about this as the human spawn-in, right? This is a very wide map, and I'm trying to make sure the player faces some difficulty as soon as they start. And I don't wanna hog all the spawning for the end area. Something I like to do is I like to front load all of my spawners more towards the player, and then I can put a little bit of a time delay between when the player engages the front and when they actually engage the back half of the map. And that little time delay gives the spawners enough time to make more humans. You see it with things like the landmine corridors and stuff, right? Where it buys the humans a bit of time to spawn things in. I think that leads to a more engaging map. So what we're gonna do... They need to go up this way, but then I can force the player to go in something like this. Now, this is poppin'. This jam right here. What a tune. We'll do this. And I'm gonna assume the humans aren't gonna wander all the way down here. I hope they don't. Then become really big, stupid dummy heads, because I'm gonna put a whole bunch of landmines. And now I need a reason for the player to come into this little area, right? And the way we're gonna do that is this. Put some turrets. So now we have this. And what I might do here, I'm gonna break my rule a little bit and put 2 spawners. I know, bold play. And the way I might do this is maybe one up here, actually. One up here, and then a sort of middle way one. Yeah. Just to give a little bit of last resistance. And then we'll use the same tricks we've been using elsewhere on the map, just to keep things consistent. Hello? And we now have that. And this. And that should be decent. What we might want to do though, is we might want to also delete these. Just to put a few more turrets, right? Because this is the end of the map. So we want to give a little bit of blast resistance. There's no space for a Tesla. So, am I missing anything? I don't know if the humans are going to trail all the way through here. So what I might do instead is I might block that off. Because I don't think the humans are going to go all the way out here anyway. And what I could do is place some turrets and then fill this little corridor up with landmines. Because I really like landmines. That should be okay. Right, we've got a fairly decent map. It's going to be small but vicious. And that's not the worst thing ever. And I'll go ahead and outline the edges just to get rid of this sand tile on void. Okay. Do I want to, well, so this is a very horizontal map, but the issue with that is, right, so normally I would do like little lines going horizontally to emphasize that, but actually we want it to feel vertical because of the way the cannolis are. So we'll need to, I don't know, do something like this. Oh, that's the edge of the map. Okay, we'll have to keep that in mind then. I always feel like these look like spaceships. I've played way too much FTL, so maybe that's probably why. But man, this really looks like a spaceship to me. And I think, so after I finish this map, which we're almost done, this is probably the last, at least until the DLC drops, and the map editor gets a bit more updates. This is probably the last map I make for a while, because this is the 13th map for Sweet Taste of Death, and I don't really have any plans for map packs past this at the moment. Okay. Are there any things I really care about? Oh, yeah, we need to save this. Sweet Taste of Death. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. I was making sure I didn't forget to save one of the other maps. That would have been really upsetting. What is this called? It's a cannoli. And we'll go ahead and exit the main menu. Load it up again. Sweet Taste of Death. Open it. No, this is the wrong one. Whoops. Load. What was this again? Oh my god, my brain is poop. Cannoli. I like to try to keep the hive somewhere in the screenshot. So this will probably show up in the screenshot. And we'll go ahead and upload this as like, I don't know, Trader Joe's, but in space. This kind of looks like a space station. We'll just put text here. I'll change the names afterwards. This is just like, my brain is fried. I can't think of witty map names right now. And we'll go ahead and load up a map and exit to the menu. And subscribe to this. And if I go into this map, all right, good. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with some swarmers. Or not some swarmers, some builders. I was looking at the swarmer and I was like, where did you spawn? I don't know who pissed these builders off. They are just going for it. And we'll go ahead and send all of our troops this way. I don't think this is going to be a terribly difficult map. It might ramp up though. Like, the longer this delays over on this side, and the more travel time there is, the more humans are going to spawn on this side. Right, we'll go ahead and take this out next. Now, we only need to kill the humans. We don't need to kill all these little buildings and defenses everywhere. So, that's useful. So, like, I can leave this alone if I need to. And just pivot that way. If my Buggos will let me. We're going this way. Good. So next we'll target this. And I think nutrient-wise, we probably need a few more pustules, but not too many. We're sort of at that critical moment where like we don't really need as many nutrients as we did at the start, because we've already got a bit more built up. And like we've reached an amount of Buggos that's usable. Oh man, look, they're shooting through the diagonals. Nice. I forget. Yeah, it's gotta be. Okay, we're good. I can't tell. So I posted a bug in the bug reports a while ago, and I can't tell if that's the bug being fixed or if it's just always been like that. I feel like it's the bug being fixed. Go ahead and delete that. That hive is no longer useful to us, but this hive is. So an unfortunate side effect of this map, the way it's designed, large areas of it are completely useless after you conquer them, but like, it's fun. This isn't like a city builder or something. We don't need to sit here. As long as it was interesting to destroy the stuff in here, that's what matters. It doesn't actually need to be usable post-destruction. And now we can just go ahead and head in here, and this should be pretty simple. Man, I really wish this guy would walk over a landmine and just detonate and kills them. That'd be so funny. Maybe I have a morbid sense of humor. I'm beginning to think I do. Alright, we'll go ahead and delete this. We don't need it anymore. Front lines changed too much. Place that there. So yeah, this map wasn't particularly difficult. I would say this is like a 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10 tops. I know I said that about the last map. The last map was surprisingly challenging. I would say the last map was like a 6 or so. This is probably like a 3. 2 or a 3 tops. And you know, it's fine. Not every map needs to be the most challenging map you can ever think of. Some of them can just be fine to just, if it was entertaining to work your guys through the map, that's equally as valid as it being difficult to take over. Right? Not every map needs to be like a massive multi-thousand buggo grind map. Yeah, so we're starting to pour into here now. These turrets are doing a surprisingly good job. I don't credit the turrets nearly as much as I should. They're pretty decent. We can consider this map done. I just wanted to like see it to completion. We've already gone this far. We did it. Okay, so I think that just about does it for all these maps. I'm gonna go ahead. What am I doing? Hold on. How do I add this to a collection? There's a button for it. I use it all the time. Add to collection, there it is. So we're gonna go ahead and add these maps to the collection. Because they all play about as much as I want them to. Add to collection, the Sweet Taste of Death. And if I go to Sweet Taste of Death now, collections. Oh, that's the wrong one. By the way, I don't know if anyone's actually going to watch the VOD all the way to the end like this. I don't expect anyone to. Feel free to play this, by the way. It's like a small campaign that I made a while ago, and it actually has like a chronological story to play the maps in. Should be interesting enough. Right, so we should have 13 things in here now? Yeah, 13. Good. So that's the Sweet Taste of Death finished. Awesome. So I think that'll just about wrap up what I had planned for this stream. I might... What time is it? It is 1:30 in the morning. I'll do that some other time. If I stream again sometime within the next like month or so, it'll probably just be showing off coding stuff I've done, because I've done quite a bit of progress as far as games I make on my own. But yeah, that'll be it. How do I stop the stream? Yeah, have a great night.